Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News. The Attleboro Arts Museum is holding their annual 8 Visions exhibit featuring the work from 8 juried member artists. We spoke with Museum Director Mim Fawcett to learn more.
We are currently showing 8 Visions in our Attleboro Gallery. 8 Visions is a special show. It's an annual show that this year is running until August 26th here at the museum. It is special because it features the work of 8 juried member artists. Now, these artists apply to be considered for this show, and the whole process starts in December when our member show is on view. This year, 54 artists applied to be considered to be in this show here in the summertime. And our juror, Lai-Sung Keen from Lai-Sung Keen Gallery in Boston, reviewed all of the work from all of the applicants and narrowed the field down to 20. Those 20 finalists were asked to create a portfolio of work, 12 pieces each, that would then go on to 2 new jurors. One was Sarah Johnson from the Cahoon Museum of American Art, and one was Eric Grau from the Piano Factory Gallery in Boston. Those jurors reviewed the work independently, went through all of the 20 portfolios, and ranked the artists according to their preference. Then it becomes very clinical, very mathematical. I blend the two together, and the top 8 artists are then admitted to 8 Visions. Now, it's always very interesting because I don't really get to see this work. I'm not involved in the jurying process. I leave it exclusively to our guest jurors. Once the artists are determined, that's when I start to know them and their work. And it was an absolute pleasure this year. The mediums that you will see in the gallery range from textile to welded steel to recycled newspaper to incredible displays of photography. Somehow, and this happens every year, the work does come together. There are beautiful connections that are made, and I think about this often, and I wonder how this happens. This is a random group from 50 plus to 20 to ultimately 8. How does this work all seem to sing together in harmony? And the common denominator is that it's all incredibly strong. The work is so powerful. The execution is always right on point. The concepts are not typical. There's always an interesting voice that comes from each artist. So when you have that high standard of work, it's a pleasure to curate, and it's also not surprising that the quality meets quality, and there are interesting connections that are made. You'll see that there are layers and layers and stories being told. There are some common themes dealing with COVID, dealing with periods of lockdown, dealing with having to face your walls in your home for more days than you would hope, facing family members and appreciating what's around us, but also dealing with experimental materials and commentary on social situations that are challenging so many of us currently. The work is up until August 26th. You can learn more about 8 Visions by visiting the museum's website, www.attleboroartsmuseum.org, or stopping by the museum. We are open with free admission Tuesday through Saturday. We're open from 10 until 4 p.m. in the summer.